RHS Pre-Calculus presents Calvin and Hobbes Learn Complex Numbers.
Gee, Hobbes, what are complex numbers?
Well, I think I'd know that better than anyone. A complex number is an expression that includes the imaginary number I, which is the square root of -1. So I squared is equal to -1.
Huh? Imaginary?
That means it's not a real number because there's no such thing as the square root of a negative. So mathematicians sometimes have to make up numbers like I and pretend they're real. Anyways, a complex number takes the form of a plus b I, where a and b are both integers.
Ew, I don't want to be a 3.
The first thing you need to know is that complex numbers can be graphed. The y-axis is imaginary and the x-axis is real. Look, here's a graph. Now you go 3 units to the right and I'll go 2 units up. See? Now we know that 3 plus 2i is in the first quadrant.
The first quadrant is comfy. I want to take a nap.
Not yet, pal. We've got lots more to do. Did you know that every complex number has its own complex conjugate? Yep, it's true. All you have to do is flip the sign.
Flip the sign? Gross.
Now, this is important, because remember what happens when you multiply an expression by its complex conjugate?
You get cooties?
Nah, you get a squared minus b squared times I squared, which is just a squared plus b squared, since I squared is -1. That's much easier to work with, as we'll see later. So now it's time to learn some operations.
Operations? Yeek.
The easiest to do are addition and subtraction. You just combine like terms. Watch this.
Addition. 3 plus 2i plus 3 plus 2i. Combine like terms. Subtraction. 7 plus 6i minus 3 plus 2i. Combine like terms.
That's easy.
Then you can do multiplication, which is a little trickier. You have to use FOIL.
Silly tiger. You don't use tin foil for math.
Calvin, you need to learn before you speak. FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, and last. That's the order in which you have to multiply everything. You should be left with something like this.
Multiplication. 3 plus 2i times 3 plus 2i. FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. Combine like terms. And wait, I squared equals -1. So, combine like terms again.
Aw, that's too hard. Can't we just go outside and play?
It isn't hard at all, my friend, as long as you remember to FOIL. Now it's time for division. Here you multiply the top and bottom by the complex conjugate of the denominator. So that way the denominator will turn into a real number.
Conjugates? Ew, cooties.
No, it's quite simple. Watch this.
Division. 3 plus 2i divided by 4 plus 4i. Conjugate of 4 plus 4i is 4 minus 4i. So, multiply by the conjugate. And FOIL. Combine like terms. And remember, I squared equals -1. So, combine like terms again. And put it in standard form. Last, reduce.
Wow, Hobbes, I must have done all the other ones wrong.
Well, if you ask me, problems like these are awfully hard for a first grader.